Good day, and as always, a very warm welcome to this meditation experience. Thankful that you have joined, which is related to our focus in this experience. It's not to sound cliched, it's actually quite critical at this time, which is about our attitude. And the phrase that often is used in the teachings of Raj Yoga is to maintain a pure attitude. And one of the ways that can show up is an attitude of gratitude. And ideally, if these attitudes are very natural, if we practice them enough and they are sincere, they can start to become very natural, a natural response. And that's ideal, that we're not grateful with while gritting our teeth, but sincerely from our heart, we're really appreciative of what's going on. And that's unconditionally, that's the big ask, is in every situation, every interaction, I'm able to unconditionally have an appreciative attitude, pure attitude, very, very critical, because that is creating what's going to happen. It's a very powerful creative force, our attitude, and it has to ideally come from the heart. How can I have that kind of appreciative or grateful attitude? Oddly enough, I think ultimately it comes from a place of contentment, that I'm really in a contented place, rather than feeling, desiring, empty, that I'm very full and therefore very appreciative of able to recognize the wonder and benefit of whoever is around me or whatever is going on. There is always, always benefit, even in what seems the most absurd or extreme situations. There is always benefit. And one of the ways I think about this is, with a drama or story, that if I was to parachute into a movie halfway through and start watching halfway, and it's a very difficult scene, I don't know the full story, and I just start to create thoughts based on what I'm seeing in that moment, not realizing that it's part of a bigger story, and that scene has to happen in order for the story to reach its happy ending. So I need to appreciate, at least understand that much, that nothing's happening in isolation or out of coincidence or just happenstance. Everything's happening for a reason as part of a very big story that does have a happy ending. So maintaining that understanding will help me to start to practice appreciative feelings until I don't even need to remember the story anymore. It's become natural. That's actually our natural way of being, is to have gratitude. So let's go inside and see if we can start to activate that practice. Sitting comfortably, even in this moment, at this very second, I can create an appreciative attitude, a grateful feeling that I have this opportunity to take care of myself. Such a great luxury. I have this chance in my day that many may not get. I have this opportunity to care for myself at a very deep level, knowing that if I do, not only I will benefit, but because my interactions will be better quality, others will benefit too. How lucky I am to have such a life where I can take this kind of time to care for myself in a deep way. And that feeling of gratitude, that recognition, automatically draws me inside to a very beautiful space, a very beautiful feeling inside, where I want to start to recognize other beautiful aspects in my life, acknowledge other things that I am very grateful for, simple things. I have a roof over my head. I have food on the table. I have clothes on my back. These are not small things to take for granted. They're very precious. Even these physical aspects of my life, I will not take them for granted, which means I won't have waste. I will regard everything as so precious. And then going a little deeper, the people in my life. I have a variety of people in my life. Some I have long relationships with over a long period of time, and others I just cross paths on the street in a second. Nothing is by chance. My life is a beautiful orchestration of relationships. And every single relationship I have, from the longest ones to the shortest ones, just a second, every single relationship I have holds the potential for my own personal growth. Every soul that crosses my path is in many ways a friend, contributing to my development as a soul. And that contribution can take a variety of forms. Some might be perceived as very beautiful, very empowering, and others might be perceived as challenging or even irritating. But when I look honestly, when I take those moments to look at myself, I can see how every interaction is invoking some form of self-understanding, self-enrichment, growth of capacity. I appreciate every single soul who crosses my path. And sometimes it is the ones that I have the longest relationship with that I start to take for granted. I don't hold them in that beautiful vision of sacredness. I start to see them in an ordinary way, just as I might do for myself. So today, let me make my vision more vibrant, especially around those I spend the most time, as if I'm meeting them for the first time and seeing the wonder of those around me. And of course, the most important relationship, the one with myself, appreciative feelings towards myself, the wonder of me. I also appreciate every scene I find myself in during the day. Again, some go on and on over a long period of time, and others are literally a second. A cyclist crossing my path, a pedestrian walking by. Nothing is happening by chance. There's billions of souls on this planet, billions of scenes that could unfold. Every scene I find myself in is happening for a good reason. And my attitude allows me to take full benefit from every scene. A part of me must know that I have in many ways created every scene that I find myself in. That somehow some past action I performed has led me to this moment. So if I reject or judge the scene I'm in some ways, I'm not appreciating my own story. My story is unique. It is a wonder. And it does have a happy ending. Every scene, every chapter of my story is also a wonder. Do I appreciate every moment, or do I rush through the scene, prefer some over others? Every scene is precious. It's part of my wonderful story. And perhaps the greatest thing I can be grateful for is to become aware of the invisible aspects in my life. Sometimes we're grateful for the things we can see, what I received, who I knew, the tasks I developed, the skills. It's actually the invisible stuff in my life that might be the most precious. To see those things, I need to open my inner eye, my heart. Even to see myself, my real self, requires an eye for the invisible. I'm much more than this physical body. I'm this wonderful, invisible being, this point of life inside. And others are the same too, human souls. Grateful to have this eye that can see the invisible, that can see the beauty under the skin, the magic in the moment, and even might allow me to see the divine, that one being beyond who always has such an appreciative vision on me. It's not really a question of whether or not one believes in God. It's, can I experience God's belief in me? Can I experience God's vision on me? That God is so grateful for my existence. That God deeply values who I am and regards me as more precious than all the diamonds and the jewels of the world put together. Is my invisible eye able to experience God's vision on me? That is something I would be most grateful for. Grateful for the time to be able to build that bridge towards experiencing God's vision on me. So much to appreciate in my life, from the surface to the depths, from the visible to the invisible. If that's all that filled my mind, what a glorious day it would be. I appreciate you joining me in this reflection today. Thank you so much. Shanti.